Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are actually building a house inspired by this floor plan that you're seeing here on screen. This is an hacienda style home. And another twist to this video is that I only want to use kits and base game. Obviously prioritizing kits because that is the challenge that I'm setting for myself. And then as far as the base game, I'll try to use it whenever I think I need it. Especially like in the restrooms, maybe sometimes. Actually, in the restrooms, I use like bathroom kits. So we'll get into it. But we are building this house inspired by this hacienda. I have been wanting to build an hacienda inspired house for a while now. I don't know, all the ones that I had seen were a little boring. And so I think this one had an interesting shape. I really like the layout. I did change some things around because I just wanted it to be maybe a little bit different. I don't know. But so I'll explain to you what I mean by that. As you can see, I already have the floor plan set up here because I panic sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I actually translate this over into The Sims and how do I make this work? As you can see, there's like a slant in the floor plan that I didn't implement into the build, but I think it's fine. I think it'll work out. Right now, what I'm focused on is like setting up the flooring, and then as well as like the ceiling. I decided to not use any roofs and just do like half walls throughout the entire build. Haciendas sometimes have half walls, or not half walls. I mean, in real life, it wouldn't be half walls, but it would be something else. They would just like build it up. Or sometimes they would have like these roofs, like more traditional roofs, but I decided to go a little bit more simple because I didn't want to break my head thinking about how I would make the roofs for this build. So I did go in with this flooring, which is actually from one of the older packs. I got it recently and I just thought it would be a good idea to use it here. I believe it's the one. I'll have to look back at which one it is because I just got it, but it's an older one. So as far as the windows, I decided to use these from base game. We don't have that many windows in like kits, or the kits that I have. I don't have all the kits obviously, but we don't have that many windows. And for this style of home, I just felt like we needed something from base game because it's so like base game is so traditional built, so I felt like these doors and windows would be perfect. I don't know if I've ever used this door with the little like windows at the top of it. I think it's actually really cute. It's also from base game. Oh, I think it's the Riviera Retreat kit, the one that I'm using for the flooring. I really like this flooring. I really wanted to use it throughout the entire house, but I just felt like it had too much going on. Like, it's really pretty, but I wish it was a little bit like more white. I feel like all the colors in this flooring are very colorful, which is great, but I just felt like it needed to be a little bit more chill. I was struggling here with the walls because they look so empty. So at the end, I do go in and use the Basement Treasures kit. They have some like wall decorations that will make the walls look like they're falling apart. So that's what I ended up using there to make it look a little bit more realistic. And on the entryway, I just used these little trees from the other new kit that I got, which is the Harvest, something like that, farm to table. I don't know what it's called, but it's such a cute kit. I've been wanting to get it for a long time. It just has so many cute little plants and all the accessories. Like, you're gonna see me use that throughout the rest of the house. Here I decided to change the flooring outside to the Desert Luxe kit one, and inside, this is where I decided to use the yellow flooring. So as we step into this first room, as you can see in the floor plan, this is actually el comedorcito. So this means the little dining room. So I would imagine maybe this is more like family oriented, where people like family would come in and sit here. I was imagining that we had a couple living here with one kid, and then they had a guest bedroom for people who would come over and visit them. I'm using this table from that new kit, the farm to table or whatever it's called, and these chairs from the Cozy Kitsch kit. I'm also using this counter from that kit, as well as all like the little plants that come with it. I just love the way these look. These are super duper cute. I was holding myself back from buying this kit, honestly, but I don't regret it. Over the little table, I just decided to put like a little frame. I was just thinking like this is more like a casual space where they would just drop off like their plants. Maybe they have a garden somewhere else, not here because I always forget to give them activities, and I just felt like we didn't have enough space to do that. So I just made it a little bit more casual there in like the little like dining room. For the kitchen, I think this is slightly bigger than what they had in their floor plan. Again, that's like slightly slanted, so it's not gonna be exactly the same. And so I decided to go in with these cabinets from the Country Kitchen kit, as well as the fridge. And I believe the stove is also from that kit. I was struggling with the upper cabinets, and I think I ended up taking those away. This sink, also from the Country Kitchen kit, is super cute. I'm glad they gave us this kit for free, because I don't know that I would have ever bought it. I mean, especially if we have like cottage living, you don't really need it. I decided to go in with these shelves from the Sleek Bathroom kit. And I was trying to put this thing over the stove, but I just didn't really like it. And again, I'm continuing this flooring from the little dining room area over into the kitchen because I just feel like it makes sense. And one good thing about the kits is that we have so much clutter items. At least I have like the everyday clutter and even the kitchen clutter kit. So those kits come in handy whenever it comes to like kitchens and just general spaces. Also, the Country Kitchen kit has some really nice clutter items, so you'll see me put that here as well. And then I was forgetting because I wanted to put like books, but I forget to like filter for base game because I was like, where are the books? And I forgot that I had a base game filtered out. I just put more kitchen clutter items here, as well as, what is that one from? Oh, I think it's also kitchen clutter. Then we have some cutting boards as well, and then just clutter everywhere. I was looking for some art, and for this style of hacienda house, like it's very traditional art pieces, not very modern, so I was really struggling to find art pieces that I felt like really resembled, you know, like this style of home. And this is a very different style than what I am used to. So I was trying to picture in my head what this would actually look like. I've been to some hacienda houses, and so I was just trying to embody that in here as well. So for the official dining room, we have an official dining room here. And I went in with this flooring that is from one of the kits. I couldn't tell you from which one this is from. And then I went in finally with some base game wallpaper because I really wanted something a little bit more moody here. I just feel like in the kitchen and the other dining room, you can just have like bright lights if you really wanted to, but when you're at this dinner table, I wanted it to be a little bit more moody, and a little bit more intimate. So I was playing around with different wallpapers, and this one right here has a lot of texture from base game, so I just kept it. And I think what was throwing me off was the flooring. I don't know if I ended up changing it, but maybe I do. I decided to use this table from base game as well with some chairs, but I think I ended up changing the chairs. So the reason I was struggling with this is because in hacienda homes, you have a more like casual, you can see I already changed the flooring, but you have like a more casual areas where it's more like where people assist you in the cooking and stuff like that. They would help you there, and so those areas would be more casual. But whenever you have a more formal dining room or a more formal living room, you would have like more fancy stuff. That's why I was trying to do like the more traditional, like dining table and chairs, but it wasn't working for me, and maybe it was the flooring too, so that's why I ended up changing it. And I did go back to the kitchen and use that cart from the kitchen clutter kit to put in the center as well. And I'm using this table from the Refined Living Room kit in the dining room to put like a little just like drinks area. I'm using the table from that farm to table. I'm just gonna call it that. I'm sorry, I don't even know if it's called that, and if it is, that's cool. Garden to table. I think it's garden to table. So I'm using the long table and these chairs again from the Cozy Kitsch kit. And yeah, you can see I went back and I put a like a little lunchbox for the kid who lives in this house. Now we have a more formal living room area. So for this area, I wanted to put in a fireplace because it says it has a fireplace out there. But I was struggling with the fireplace. Oh, and I also off screen, I did the whole patio. So here I'm showing you what I did with the patio. I put in a pool. I'm using a lot of the Riviera Retreat stuff in here, and as well as these fountains, which look amazing. These lounge chairs, and again, the garden to table, like stuff in the middle to cook. So that was like the outside, and I'll show you more later. So in here, for the living room, I did put the fireplace, which actually might be an outdoor fireplace, but it's okay. I just decided to put it in there. So I am using this hutch that is from that's where the flooring was from. The Bistro kit. Yeah, I just forget about that kit all the time. So I'm using that hutch over there. And over on this side, I'm using the Book Nook kit bookshelves, which I just think are perfect for this space. I think they look super cute. And I was trying to fill up the walls with something that was completely, or not completely different, but just different, so we can have a balance. I always try to like do the same on both walls, but realistically you wouldn't have a whole wall of bookshelves unless you're like a big time reader or they were passed down to you by your grandparents, whatever. So I was just cluttering up here this hutch from the Bistro kit. And again, I did continue the flooring. I don't know why. I thought that the other one would look better, but I think this one looks good and it brings in some warmth into the space. So as far as like the sofas and stuff, I decided to go with these from the Modern Retreat kit. I just felt like they were the ones that looked the most neutral for this sort of space. The other ones just had like too much character, and I just felt like these would be more realistic in a space like this. Over on this side, I wasn't sure what I wanted to give them, so I think I just put like a little chair with like a bookshelf. I don't remember. I also gave them this mirror from the Basement Treasures kit. And over on this corner, I gave them the record player from the Party Essentials kit. This sofa again from the Modern Retreat kit, as well as this lamp from the Basement Treasures kit. And then from the Bistro kit, I used the painting with like the people dancing. I just felt like it made sense. Now, this is where it gets a little funky because I wasn't really sure if this was a bedroom or a like living area, like an additional living area. Here you can see it's gonna be slightly different because I think it has some closets. So if you see in the floor plan, it says roperos, and roperos are closets. So I feel like it was like a closet. I mean, I feel like it was like a bedroom because it says bedroom of the friends, or, bedroom for your friends. But then it's attached to the bathroom that's also attached to like the space that's called the owner's bedroom, which is on the left-hand side of this. So I was like, why do the friends have access to the master bathroom? I just felt like it didn't make sense to me in my brain. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, there's actually a shower in there that I probably didn't place. So anyways, I decided to make this the bedroom for the guest room. It's a very simple bedroom. This is where I decided to use a lot of like the base game stuff, especially like the bed, because we don't have a lot of options. And I made a little hallway to the side so that the people can go into this guest bathroom, because we don't really have a bathroom anywhere else. And then this is just gonna be also like the guests' bedroom, bathroom, as well as all the other guests' bathroom. As you can see, this is a fairly large bathroom, and I'm just using a lot of the stuff from the Sleek bathroom kit. Obviously, I don't think we have any other bathroom kits, and I feel like I'm okay with that because this one is actually perfect. I think I do decide to use this sink that is from the Garden to Table kit, which actually just has some storage underneath, and I think it just has some really nice textures all around. And then I was thinking of using, and I do think I end up leaving this counter also from that kit. I just hadn't used it a lot, and I did use it over in the little dining area. So I felt like it was fine to include it here as well, but it's like presented in a different context. So I think it looks slightly different. So yeah, as you can see, just adding some more stuff in here into this bathroom. Outside, I also put like a little fountain in the entryway area where I had some plants. Well, entryway area to the owner's bedroom. So we have the 2 bedrooms here, and I did decide to use like wooden flooring. For the main bedroom, what do I decide to do here? Oh, and then we have the kids' bedroom. Yeah, I think the reason why I decided to use wooden flooring is because I remember one of my uncle's houses in Mexico, they would have like wooden floors, and every time you would walk on them, they would squeak. So I think that's why, like on the elevated parts of the home, which the bedrooms are not, but I decided to put some wooden flooring because it is sometimes used. Okay, so for the main bedroom, again, having that like distinction between something more traditional and something more country, quote unquote, because again, like in these traditional homes you would have traditional beds, but I just couldn't do it, so I went with something a little bit more simple. I would say this is still traditional, but not as like quote unquote elegant or intricate as the other ones, which I think this bed is also very realistic to something you would find in one of these hacienda homes. For the rugs, I decided to use this one from Base Game from the Africana update. And I am using these curtains from the Desert Luxe kit to cover up the bedrooms. I had forgotten to give the other bedroom any curtains, so I went back to give them curtains. And then as well, I'm using these like little lamps that are actually from Base Game, I think. Oh no, maybe they're the ones from the Basement Treasures kit, the one that flickers, but I just use them on the white swatch. And the little side tables I think are from Base Game. Over on this side, I am using the refined, is it the refined living room kit? No, the Modern Retreat kit, like little table, because we don't have any dressers. In any of these kits, we don't have any dressers. So that's what I ended up putting there. Now we're going into the kids' bedroom, which ends up being one of my favorite bedrooms, honestly. I haven't built like a bedroom for a single kid. I always try to like put as many beds as possible. I don't know why. But I really like this bedroom. I decided to use this little like cabinet thing, which I don't know what kit this is from. It might be from the one with the little plants. But I had it like turned around, so I ended up like going back because I was like, these things are trapped in here, you could never get to them. Then I realized that it was backwards, so here you can see that I flipped it back again, where I just put a bunch of like items for the kid. And this bedroom is honestly super cute. This rug is from the Cozy Kitsch kit, again using a bed from Base Game because we don't have any kits, or maybe there are kits with beds, I just don't have any kits with beds because I don't have all the kits. So maybe there are some, I have no idea. So I just gave the kid a bunch of toys, and then over on this side, I think I just gave him a desk because I felt like it would be good to give him a desk. I don't know if I give him a computer. I do give him this like vintage TV from the Basement Treasures kit. And when I was little, we had like our little chairs where we would watch TV. So I just put like the little chair in front of the TV. I don't know how healthy that is for kids, but I just remember having like a little chair and like sitting right in front of the TV to watch it. And then over on this side, we have a desk from Base Game, and this chair again from the Cozy Kitsch kit. I'm using this little fishing frame thingy, which I think it's so cute. Like maybe the kid is into fishing and I just love it. Over on this side, so this actually ends up, oh sorry, I went back to give like some curtains. Over on this side, this was actually like a garage. You can see even the picture, it says a garage. So we don't have garages in The Sims 4, so I just ended up giving them like an art studio because we do have like the artist studio kit. Yeah, I was gonna say this house is also built in Mount Camarabi, so I know it's not in like the Mexico world, but I just really like this lot. Well, not that I really like it, it was available, so I thought it was a perfect size to use it. So it's not really like, doesn't really belong in this world, if you want to put it that way. So in this art room, I also gave him a woodworking table and a lot of the stuff from the Basement Treasures kit. I also was thinking like maybe one of the parents like paints these little animal tables from the Modern Retreat kit and they sell them. Maybe like that's what they do for a living or on the side. So that's why I put several of those tables, and actually one of the kids has the table as well. So here we have the final product with our little dining room, and I think I ended up just like going in from first person perspective, so you can see we have our little dining room, and then we have our kitchen, which I'm honestly obsessed with. I love how warm this kitchen is with all the little like fruits and everything. Sorry if this makes you dizzy. Then we have our more moody dining room, which I absolutely love. I think it looks amazing. We have our little area over here in the living room, and yeah, I just love it. Then we have our guest bedroom, very simple, nothing crazy here, bonsai tree. And I put the bathroom in here for the guest bedroom. So that's what we have right there. If you guys like this type of video, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more from my channel. Here we have this little hallway. I'm just like obsessed with this hacienda. We have our little fountain, and sorry about that, it just looks crazy. The parents' bedroom. I want to live in this house. It just looks so pretty. Where I'm from, like traditional houses like this are super common, so I just think it looks really cool. Then we have our poolside with our garden to table like setup and everything. Then we have our kids' bedroom, which honestly maybe could use some more lighting, but I think it's really cozy and amazing. Then we have the kids' bathroom. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.